Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Vital Outdoors TV. I'm Trevor, and today I'm going to be going over my top 5 musky lures. So, we'll start off with number 5. That's going to be a Booker tail. It's by Joe Booker. You can see Booker tail there. That's the Fire Tiger one. It's really small, you can see that's the 500 series. But even baits this small work great, especially in the spring. So, that's one you're going to want to have in your box. I also have that in a couple different colors. This is the parrot color. It's a mix of red and white. And then, I don't know the actual name of this color, but I always called it sunset. And that's my favorite color. So, if I were to have one of these baits, one of these colors, this would be the color. So, there you go. And then, I have it in black and orange. That's actually the Tin Buck. It's a new lure that came out for 2014, but any Joe Booker hair bucktail works good. Then number 4, we have any 5-inch crankbait. Now I like the Jakes and the Shallow Raiders. As long as it's a shallow running crankbait, it works great. So there's a Jake in sucker color, and I like to throw this extra twister tail on the back to give it a little more action. And with that twister tail, it's about 7 inches long, and there you can see. I've also caught bass on this lure, so it's a good lure. So that's one to check out, especially in fall. They're going to be chasing the sucker color, so that's a good one to have. And then this is the Shallow Raider by Joe Booker, and this is in pearl color. And then again, I put a twister tail on the back. Then I also have the I believe this is Tennessee shad colored. It's a Shallow Raider by Joe Booker. So any of those 5-inch shallow running crankbaits work good. You can also use them for as a jerk bait, and they work good that way too. Number 3 is going to be a Joe Booker Top Raider. Now you can see it's caught fish there. This is a fun lure to fish with, because when the fish strike it, they put up a big fight and they jump out of the water. So you get a cool thing to watch, and it's also just a great lure. This has it's like the perfect setup prop on there, so it gets the perfect amount of vibration in the water and the bubbles spit up. So the Joe Booker Top Raider, and this is in blue and black color, or orange and black colored. Then number 2 is going to be Esox Assault Bucktails. They're a tinsel tail, as you can see there. Esox Assault, and this is the black colored. It's I've never used this color. I picked this up, but I've used their other baits, and they're great baits. So that's the black color. This one I've used. This is it's like copper blade and brown skirt. So that's another good one when the fish are chasing suckers in the fall, or when the suckers are spawning in like March. It's a good bait to throw. They got nice blades on there. You can just reel really slow if you want, and they'll still move, but you can still move them rapidly, and it's a nice built, good built bucktail. I also have that in the it's like a miniature size. And this is in the green, and they have the Chaos Killer tails on the back, so that's really nice. This this little color little size there is good for in spring when the fish are chasing smaller baits. It's also another good bait for pike. And then the number 1 musky bait is Joe Booker Slot Master. Now I have these in the spinnerbait, buzzbait, and spoon, but the spinnerbait is my favorite. This is kind of like a crappie colored, and I've caught a pike, and I lost a muskie on it, but that color works good. I also have it in chartreuse, which I've never caught a fish on, but in the right conditions I'm sure it'd work great. They have 2 blade combinations on these. You can get the single blade, like this, one big blade on there to put off a lot of thump in the water, Or you can get the double bladed one like this with a willow blade and a Colorado, and that works good too. Then I have that in black and silver, which I think I've caught a pike on this one, but it's another good color to have. When the water's clear, it works good. Then this is bullfrog color. Caught a pike on this, and I think maybe a small muskie we've gotten on it. But it's like a chartreuse black and green. So it's a bullfrog color, and that works good if you rip it fast around weeds. So the muskie think it's a frog. This is also a good bait for bass. I've got a lot of smallmouth and even largemouth on them. Then black and orange. This one's caught a couple pike. The thing you always got to remember is you always got to have spare tails with you in your boat, because the little pike like to rip off the tails and not take the hook. So you always got to keep spare twisters in your tackle box. So that's the black and orange color. And then my favorite color here, this is again the sunset color. You can see there the blade. It's caught a lot of fish on this color, and gone through multiple tails on this one. You can see it's a different tail than the original one. But yeah, the Joe Bucher Slot Masters are my #1 bait for muskie and even pike. So they in my video on chasing predator fish in northern Wisconsin, we used a Slot Master that was pink colored. That's going to be a new bait. That was a prototype, but it's going to be on the market for 2015. So be sure to check that out when it comes out. But the Slot Masters, you gotta have them in your box no matter what. So thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe to Vital Outdoors TV, and be sure to check out these awesome lures.